Have you ever thought about what a narcissist does when they find out they can't control you as easily as they thought? If they find out that you're stronger than they thought and not easily swayed, what will happen? Up until now, they've used their normal methods to keep people under their control, like manipulating, making them feel guilty, love bombing, and gaslighting. This moment throws them off completely. But when they meet someone who knows their tricks and won't play along, it really shocks them. All of a sudden, they understand that you're not just another person they can play with, but someone who will stand their ground. This moment of awareness is terrifying for narcissists because it makes them question everything about who they are. They've spent their whole lives getting better at controlling, tricking, and manipulating other people. So when someone doesn't want to be controlled by them, it makes them very scared and angry. They don't know how to deal with someone who isn't going to be fooled and isn't afraid to leave. And when they finally snap, their responses can be very strong, hard to predict, and even scary at times. When they first start, they might push your limits to see if you'll give in. Their attempts to trick you might get stronger, and they might try new methods to see which ones work. When they see that you don't give in to their demands, things get worse. They might lose it when they're angry and try to break you down by being mean or harsh. If they can't get you to do what they want by lying and being charming, they may use fear, guilt, or even smear campaigns to try to ruin your image. This is the reason why it's important to know how they think. When a narcissist knows they can't control you, they won't give up easily. They will do everything they can to make you question yourself as they fight to get back their power. They could act like they're the victim and try to get other people to dislike you. They might also leave for a while, hoping that your lack of them will make you miss them and lose your resolve. No matter what they do, it's all meant to get you to give them more power. We're going to talk in depth about the shocking and sometimes scary things narcissists do when they know they can't control you in this video. Not only are these behaviors upsetting, but you need to be aware of them in order to keep yourself safe. Watch until the end, because you'll want to be ready for what's going to happen. Before we start, don't forget to click like, subscribe, and share this movie with anyone who might need it. Since knowledge is power, it gets harder for narcissists to control people when more people know about these unhealthy behaviors. Let's start right now. When a narcissist meets someone who is hard for them to control, they cannot stay calm or collected. For them, being in charge is everything. It shakes their whole sense of power when they learn they don't have the upper hand. It's not just a small bother for them. It directly threatens their carefully constructed image of being in charge. They get scared when that fantasy starts to fall apart. But they don't show fear. Instead, they go into full survival mode and do everything they can to get back in charge. They won't make it clear at first. As a test, they'll push and poke at your limits in sneaky ways to see if they can find a weak spot. It's possible for them to be friendly one minute and cold the next, throwing you off. This is not an accident. It's a planned approach. They are looking for any hint of doubt or delay that they can use against you. If they even remotely feel that you might be weak, they will step up their manipulation and use every trick in their book to get you to give in again. They will turn to gaslighting as their main tool and use it more harshly than ever. They will twist your words until you start to doubt yourself, which will make you question your own reality. They'll change the past and say that things didn't happen the way you remember them. They'll act like they're the sensible one, making you think you're exaggerating or making things up. The only thing they want is for you to doubt your own thoughts and feelings, so much that you start looking to them for support. In the event that their tricks don't work, if you refuse to give in, things become more dangerous. Narcissists hate losing control, and they get very desperate when they feel like it's going away. If they can't totally destroy your mind, they'll try to change the story. They'll switch roles and play the victim instead of the trickster. In order to make it look like they're the one suffering, they'll act like you're the one hurting them. This is when the efforts to hide the truth start. If they can't get to you, they'll try to hurt your image. They'll tell other people lies about you, like that you're the one who is tough, unstable, or abusive. They will turn your friends, family, and coworkers against you to make you feel alone. It gets harder for you to defend yourself as more people agree with them. They only care about limiting the harm they cause. They'll try to control how other people see you if they can't control you anymore. The thing they fear most is being seen for what they really are. So they'll do anything to make you look bad instead. They are trying very hard to keep up the appearance of power, even though it is getting farther away from them. They don't give up if that doesn't work. Instead, they use more extreme methods and every trick they can think of to get back in charge. When they first meet you, they might try to love bomb you again. They'll put on the smile again, giving you lots of compliments, attention, and love, just like at the start. They'll act like they've changed their mind and tell you everything you ever wanted to hear. They might even say sorry, which is something they don't normally do, just to show you that they've changed. But it's all a show, an attempt to get you to fall back into their web. They will look closely at you to find any emotional weak spot they can use against you. They'll promise to be a better friend or partner if they know you value kindness. If they know you're willing to forgive, they'll use your compassion to make you feel bad. If you share memories or have been together for a long time, they will use nostalgia against you by telling you of the good times, to make you think twice about your choice. They'll try to make you feel bad for leaving them behind. However, this is not about love or change, it is about power. This is where things really start to get scary. When they finally understand that none of their usual tricks are working, and that they can't get you back, something inside them breaks. All of a sudden, the charming and attractive mask they've been wearing for a long time is gone. The person who used to seem so sure of themselves and in charge is now filled with unfiltered anger. It seems like they can't hide the evil that was always there, just below the surface. That's when they might act dangerous, crazy, or even desperate. They're mad not only because they lost you, but also because they lost power. For a narcissist, that loss is too much to bear. They might lash out at you physically, calling you names and trying to break your spirit. They might bring up old wounds and private lies to make you feel bad and hurt you as much as possible. Of course, if you still don't give in, they may act out even more. When a narcissist faces an impossible target, they might give up and walk away, thinking it's easier to move on to someone else. They will find a new person to trick who doesn't yet see through their schemes, and the circle will begin again. Other people, they're not easy to let go of. It's impossible for these narcissists to lose. They become obsessed and can't accept that the person they used to manage has gotten away from them. They could be following you around and watching your every move while they look for a way back in. They could start keeping an eye on your social media to see if you show any signs of weakness, like missing them or changing your mind. They might even use fake accounts, flying monkeys, or common friends to find out about you while you're not even aware of it. They'll find sneaky ways to get back into your life if they can't talk to you directly. They might start showing up in places you often or run into you at your favorite coffee shop. They might send vague signs or memories of the past, just enough to let you know they are there. For them, it's all about showing that they still boss you around. They can't stand the thought of you going on, getting better, and doing well without them. They keep coming back because they want to find even the smallest weakness in your defenses. What was the hardest part? When a narcissist sees they've lost, they don't just give up. They start to fall apart in ways that can be very scary. Their whole sense of self is based on the false idea that they are powerful, and when that false idea falls apart, they may respond in very strong ways. Some lash out at people around them, getting mad at anyone who tries to tell them they failed. They might say and do even meaner things to hurt people, thinking that if they can't get control, at least they can do as much damage as possible. Others focus their damage on themselves, hurting themselves in a downward spiral of anger, paranoia, and careless behavior. Some narcissists can't stand the thought of losing control, so they will do anything to make themselves and others believe they are still in charge. In a frantic effort to get back on top, they might come up with complicated, sneaky plans. These plans can be well thought out and made to make you question your choices, feel bad about them, or even think that they've changed. They might get other people involved in their game by hiring flying monkeys to spread lies and make them look like the victims. In their minds, they haven't lost yet. Some people may become even more obsessed and start to stalk, watch, or lurk in the background of your life just to show themselves that they still haven't caught you. Some people will try to hurt your image by spreading lies about you to anyone who will listen, because they want to control how other people see you even if they can't control you directly. They might tell lies, twist facts, and make up stories to make you look like the bad guy. The goal is not to tell the truth, but to change the story so they don't have to understand how bad they were. Finally, there are people who fall apart from the weight of their own lies. Some narcissists feel very hopeless when none of their normal tricks work, and they can see that their power is slipping away. They might feel sorry for themselves and act like a victim in front of anyone who will listen, thinking that sympathy will give them one last chance to get back in charge. Others may shut themselves off because they are angry and bitter and can't face the truth that they have lost. However, once a narcissist sees they have lost control for good, they are left with the one thing they have spent their whole lives running away from, their own emptiness. This is true no matter how they react, through anger, manipulation, or self-destruction. They are forced to be alone because they don't have anyone to control or feed off of mentally, and being left alone with the truth about who they are is the worst thing that can happen to a narcissist. They might lash out to avoid facing this truth, desperately looking for another person to hurt to fill the hole. Some people will go from one person to the next in search of a new target, someone who will like them and make them feel important again. Others will feel sorry for themselves and act like the victim, hoping that people who don't yet see through their act will feel sorry for them. And for some, the weight of their actions becomes too much to bear, sending them down a path of anxiety, loneliness, or careless self-destruction. What should you do if this ever happens to you? The most important thing is to stick to your limits no matter what. Do not get involved, do not try to explain yourself, and do not try to make them see sense. Narcissists love it when people feel something like anger, sadness, or even pity. They feel like they have more power over you the more energy you give them. But if you don't do anything, if you cut them off from everything, they have nothing to work with. That's the only thing they can't handle. This is why it's so important to avoid contact with a narcissist, or set clear limits, when you feel like they have lost control over you. Get away from it all if you can. Don't check in on them or see what they're doing. Instead, block them and take them out of your life. If you have to talk to them because you both have to do the same thing, be short, neutral, and to the point. Don't let them have anything that they can use against you. Trust yourself above all else. Narcissists are very good at making you doubt yourself, question your own judgment, and play on your feelings to get another chance. If you're still reading, though, it means you can see right through their act. Keep that truth in mind. Their actions show who they are, not who you are. None of it is your fault that they can't take responsibility, that they need power so badly, or that they get stuck in unhealthy cycles of manipulation. For what they did, you are not answerable, and you are not in charge of their healing. Thanks for seeing it. This word may have touched you, so please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear it today. Your help makes more people aware of the truth of narcissistic abuse, and gives them the tools they need to escape. When a narcissist sees they've lost control, have you ever been through this? Feel free to leave a comment with your ideas. I look forward to hearing from you. Let us keep talking about this, help each other, and always remember to stay strong and take care.